Yo, what's up everyone? How we doing? Everybody? Thanks for showing up, thanks for stopping by. Right, I don't know, I just thought I'd hop on and chat a bit, because I'm fucking stressed. I think the reason is because, we just fucking hop in. If you don't know what's been going on, if you don't know what's been going on at all, then, Jesus, that goes back quite a way. Fuck me, back in fucking May last year, but, we've talked about that stuff. Most people know. I think it's because what happened and how it was handled was so up in the air. You can't know what's happening, and that's why I'm not necessarily going to be one of those people that, with regards to what's happened and what is happening with Ubisoft, I'm not one of those people that are going to just be like, look, as soon as that came out, everyone should have cancelled their pre-orders. It's a delicate situation. So I don't think it's necessarily a matter of, if you bought Valhalla, you're a piece of shit, because that's just not really the case. I wish I hadn't. I do. But it was a bit complicated. Because when everything happened, right, it was... I don't even know, how to go about this. I think it's just that when it first happened, nobody knew how it was going to be handled, how deep it went, and on top of that, it was like, well, Valhalla looked interesting, and, we don't want to fuck over these devs that have worked on this game. Think about people like Darby McDevitt that's still there that has to deal with this, and so I don't think you're a piece of shit for buying Valhalla. I think... So there's a tweet, right, and a lot of people are on at George about this, and I think they completely misunderstood what he was saying. I kind of get why they did it. It's not the best way to tweet of all time, but he said, let me find it real quick. So this was his tweet. Let me just grab it and throw it up here real quick, because I just want to talk about it and actually explain what he meant, because I think a lot of people don't sort of realize what he meant. And so that's why I would like to, just to grab it and sort of explain, I suppose. I tell you what, let me just fix this real quick, because this is all a little bit fucked. Don't worry about it, we're okay. I'll just pop this here, just hang on. Hang on, this is all a bit of a disaster. I'll just switch over, I'll just transition, hold on. So we're here. This is all just a bit wrong, don't worry. I'm just changing this real quick. I just wanted to take this off and zoom in the webcam a little bit, but so it was, I'll tell you what, let me just throw that up, and then I'm not in the center. That's what's wrong here. That's what's up here with this. Although I suppose I don't want to be directly in the center, do I? I kind of do want to be over to the side a little bit. Right, I'm just gonna pop me down there. Grab chat. Where's chat? Here. Yeah. Okay, so basically, so this is what he said. So it was off the back of my tweet where there's a bunch of screenshots from this article, and he says basically the bit is this is the company you guys choose to support, a company that is complacent with sexual assault. Within and outside the workplace, right? And a lot of people took to this as wait, why are you having to go to everyone you bought Valhalla? Who's you, right? And it's a bit of a oddly worded tweet, because obviously it suggests it's aimed at someone, obviously, right? It's aimed at someone, but it's not necessarily you or me or whoever else, right? What he means is he's aiming this tweet at people that support Ubisoft. It really is that simple. This tweet is just aimed at people supporting Ubisoft, people that are defending Ubisoft, people that are in their corner, right? And I'd say that I'm pretty much on the same page, that people that continue to defend Ubisoft, people that continue to support Ubisoft after everything that happened, that's where the issue is, right? For me, in terms of people, I feel like there's a sense of accountability there. You have a responsibility. And then, so this is why I'm feeling a little bit confused and conflicted, because I bought Valhalla. And sure, I bought Valhalla way back when it was first announced. I bought Valhalla with the intention I'm going to make content on this. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to critique it. I'm going to rip it to shreds if need be. I'm going to talk about the online store. I'm not buying it just to make news on it and be support Valhalla. That's not really what I do, right? But at the same time, also like maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have even touched it. Maybe that's wrong of me. And so, yeah, I guess I'm just a bit like, I'm like, do I have a right now to criticize Ubisoft and to criticize their supporters when I bought Valhalla? Maybe I don't. I don't know. But I guess your point of view changes, doesn't it? And I think that's probably where I'm at. So it's like, I don't know. When it all happened, I guess it never felt that wrong to buy another Ubisoft game. Because I guess it thought, well, it'll be dealt with. It's all out in the open now. It'll be dealt with. We can support the developers. But clearly that hasn't happened and hasn't worked. So it made it quite difficult. And I do regret buying Valhalla. I do. But it's just one of those things. It's focusing on where you go next, right? It's focusing on like, what do you do moving forward? How do you want to take a stand against this company? Because it's very clear that they have no intention of owning up to this, no intention of taking accountability, no intention of being transparent either. And so like, where do we take this next? What do we do next? I guess it's not buying their fucking games. Like, I can't do it, and it's not my decision to not buy Ubisoft's games, and I'm saying this publicly now on stream, and I've made it my pinned tweet because I want to hold myself accountable, right? I don't want to, like, where it comes to it, and I'm like, oh, I can make this piece of content on this game, maybe I should buy it, because then I could talk shit, but, like, I don't want it to be like that. Because after Unity, like I said, the same thing, you know, when we got Odyssey announced, I was like, oh, fuck this shit, but then I just kept buying them, and the main reason is not because I was like, I want to see if the game's good. The main reason is because, like, I can make content on this. I can criticize this game. I can tear it down. I can analyze it, right? And that's where it came from. It's like, I know so much about these games that when I make content on them, like, I love it. I love the process of making content on something like this. So, like, when it was, like, with Odyssey, I loved the process of that. And I think as well, like, to a certain extent, when I bought Valhalla, it came from the, like, perspective of, well, I could have not bought Odyssey, right? Like, I could have not touched Odyssey. But me buying Odyssey and making Odyssey broke me had far more of a long-term impact than me not buying Odyssey ever could have done. So I feel very justified in that, despite the fact that, you know, I was supporting Ubisoft in doing so. And obviously back then, we didn't know any of this. So it was like supporting their bad games more so than it was supporting sexual assault company. You know what I mean? So that's a different situation. But yeah, it's buying the game isn't directly supporting the actions of Ubisoft, so it's really those diehard Ubisoft fans rethink their actions. True, but I think that when it comes to the point, so this is like where I'm at with this now, is like the only way they're going to ever change is if they stop making money. Like, if they realize that they are losing support because of their actions and because of their, like, lack of taking accountability, then is that might be the only way to get to them. That might be the only way. And at this point, like, for me, and the way that it's, like, solidified it for me is, like, before, like I said, supporting them only meant supporting games I didn't like supporting their bad business practices. Now it means supporting a company that is okay with sexual harassment and sexual assault if it makes them money. They don't want to come clean. They don't want to do anything about this too deeply because it might hurt their bottom line. And that is then where the line is drawn for me, where, yeah, I feel pretty confident that I'm never going to buy one of these games again. At least until, I mean, to be fair, I don't want to buy any of these games anyway. Hey, thanks to Gurichet for the bits. Yeah, I'm done with Ubisoft. Now that I bought the $120 edition for Valhalla, that won't happen again. Yikes. Yeah, understandable. But it's just rough. Thank you for the prime there, Vax, Bayek. But yeah, it's just like I don't know, I guess it's so difficult, like, to explain where I'm at with this and how I feel, but I think that they're not going to take accountability for any of this. Maybe the only way is to stop buying their games. That might be it. And beforehand, it was like, well, I buy their games anyway so that I can critique them, so that I can put that message out into the world, and I've done that now. So what would be the point of me buying Assassin's Creed fucking 14 or whatever the next one is? Like, what would be the point of me buying the one that comes out next year or the year after or whatever? There'd be no value in it in terms of content, because I wouldn't be able to critique it in a different way. It'd be the same stuff. So there's no reason for me to do that. And there's almost no reason for me to do that with Valhalla, and that's why I'm like kind of stuck here. But I'm very confident that I'm not going to buy another one. Like, I don't need to buy from this company anymore. And I guess that's really all I want to voice. Like, that's what I want to try and get across to people, is like, we need to... This is more than, at this point, than just games company makes bad games. It's... And those things matter to me, don't get me wrong. Like, those are parts of the video that is coming out within this week. These, you know, the business practices, these really scummy, predatory business practices in their store, and the idea that their games are built around them, and what it does is it dilutes an industry that I love. Those two things are very important. They are. But the line that has been drawn now is the fact that not only has this gone on for so long, their handling of the situation has been fucking abysmal, and it's just more important. It just matters to me more. Like, it just frustrates me. Like, it makes me angry to just whenever I see these fucking articles and Ubisoft are not doing anything about it. It's just, man, it sucks. And there's so many instances of this in our industry and other industries, like all around the world. But I guess this is my one, right? Like, my industry is the games industry, and Ubisoft is the company that I was the closest with in terms of, you know, where I was linked to, right? So this is like my fight, I guess, it feels like. And yeah, and there's some other thing, like, I just having an audience, which I do. I'm not like ignorant to the fact that I have an audience. Obviously, there's people watching me right now. I try not to be fucking... I try not to be egotistical, despite that being, you know, the character I used to play back in the day. I don't know how many of you have been around since then, but... hey, thank you. Thank you very much for the tier 1. Thank you for the 2 months. But yeah, I try not to be. But I can't just pretend like I don't have an audience, right? And so with that comes people that will always be trying to criticize you. And it's like, with this, it's like I can't put out a take on Ubisoft without being criticized by somebody for something. And it's like, fuck me. Like, people that don't know you. And that's why I've tried to stay away from the shit. Like, I used to get into so many fucking fights on Twitter back in 2017, 2016, whatever. But I try to stay away from it because it's fucking pointless. Like, I don't know these people, and they don't know me, so what are we doing, right? Let's fight fucking Ubisoft, not each other. It's so silly and immature, and I just don't... Like, I don't know. I guess there's a difference. Like, so I'll be alright with the odd joke here, and it's just... it's context fucking matters, I guess. It's so weird. But, like, people... There was a tweet I put out the other day, and people have been taking it out of context. It was just, like, a tweet where I talked about, why do I keep criticizing Ubisoft, right? Because a lot of people will always come to me and be like, how come you keep criticizing Ubisoft? Like, why are you still going on about Ubisoft? Just fucking give it up already. If you don't like their game, stop talking about it. And it's like, this is more than that to me. It's very important to me. Like, for one, the games industry I love, and I don't want it to become diluted as fuck with Ubisoft's business practices. But second of all, the sexual misconduct cannot go unaddressed. People have to keep on about this until something happens. It's very important, I feel anyway, which is why I do it, and that's where my video came from. But one of my major points was that there aren't any people criticizing them. Like, you don't see it in the mainstream all that often. Like, it didn't take long before you've got fucking... Like, I keep using this example, but you got fucking Alana Pierce and Troy Baker on their fucking podcast defending Ubisoft. They weren't defending the sexual misconduct, but they were defending the company regardless. And I feel like that's wrong. I feel like any spotlight shined on Ubisoft should be negative. It should be pressure. Like, I don't think this is the time to be, like, defending any of their positives, if there are any, right? But it's like, it did not take long for people to just go back to that again and like, oh, let's just praise Ubisoft's mediocre games. And so what I said on my Twitter was that, if I don't, like, people, because people coming after me, why don't you just shut up about Ubisoft? And what I said was, look, if I drop it and I don't talk about it, who will talk about it? Who's going to talk about it if I don't talk about it? And what I meant in terms of that was the mainstream, right? Is IGN going to talk about it? No. Maybe once in an article a year ago. But who's going to keep that pressure on? What big names are going to do it? Is it going to be Joraptor? You know, is it gonna be JV? Like, people that have said things, don't get me wrong, they've said things, but who's going to keep the pressure up? And I have no problem with both of those people. Again, just to clarify, I don't have any problem with Joraptor or JV. In fact, I like them both. But what I'm saying is who's going to keep the pressure on? And it's not necessarily anybody's responsibility to keep that pressure on. It's not. I'm not demonizing either of those people I mentioned. I'm just giving examples. Like, who is going to talk about it that has an audience? And like I said, I'm not ignorant to the fact that I do have an audience. So, I guess it's me. I guess it's Ethan. I guess it's Tyler. I guess it's George. Who else out there has been this consistently critical of Ubisoft? Whether it is about their business practices or whether it's about their workplace misconduct. You know what I mean? And so what that comment was from me saying, if I don't talk about it, who will? That wasn't me being egotistical. That wasn't me being up on my fucking moral high horse at all, because I'm not a fucking arbiter of morality. We all know this. I'm a piece of shit. But the point I was making was simply that the mainstream does not cover this. A lot of big names do not cover this. When you look at fucking these big people covering the EA loot box issues, they are not covering this. They kept the pressure on EA consistently for months, for fucking months. With this, when it's actual real people that are victims, they don't. And so it's wild that people then want to come at me for saying something so like, that's such a random thing to come at me for. Like, what? Like, just such a random thing to come at me for. It's fucking weird. But I guess I have to be the villain at some point, don't I? It's fucking me. I don't know. It's so dumb. But the point really is that we should all be directing our anger at Ubisoft. And people that are in their corner. And I think as well, like, a big reason why people don't talk about this more is because Ubisoft are so creator friendly. They're so easy to work with for creators. I wouldn't know, but for other people, you know, from what I've seen, they're very easy to work with. They'll give you a code, they invite you to shit, like, it's so easy. They'll give you fucking money, and I don't think people want to lose that, and this isn't their fight, right? Like, I made maybe one video on the EA loot box issue just because it was an issue that bothered me, but I didn't consistently keep my foot down on that, which, you know, other people did, and that's why we saw change in regards to, you know, Battlefront, and a lot of laws were changed. But yeah, it's one of those things where I just don't know, like, I guess there's not a lot of people that feel it's their hill to die on. Like, I don't know. It's weird, I guess. But where I'm at is that I feel like I have an audience, I have a platform, and with that I want to speak out against Ubisoft because that's the closest. Like, I'm close to that. That's my thing, you know? So, yeah, it's... Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it, Casey. It's... what I have... You know, if you don't know, right, if you weren't around back in the day, right, so if you're like a new person, actually, could we see in chat, when did, type the year, when did you start watching Four Pillars, or when did you start watching me, actually, because it's more relevant to me. I want to know, when did everyone start watching specifically me, like, what year? Because I want to know whatever, like, what context everyone knows. 2016, 16, 17, 18, 16, 16, 20, 16, 16, yesterday, well, that's good. 2014. 2019, 2017. So there's a lot. There's a mix. So there's a mix here, a big mix. Yeah. So a lot of people are like, I don't answer that. Oh, long time. But yeah, so there's a mix of people like Unity Days, Syndicate Days, Origins hype, Aftermath of Odyssey, and then yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, right, pre 2014. So, pre-2018, so 2017, 2016, right, is where I think a lot of people made their judgment on what sort of person I am. And it's justified in a lot of cases why people would be like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. And I get that, right? Because back in those days, if you don't know, I was edgy as fuck. Like, that was my thing. Now, I don't know what it was. It was just like it was weird, man. I went down a rabbit hole. I wasn't a different person, but outwardly I was. So it was... I was trying... It was partly I was a bit of a character. But partly as well it was... I don't know. I was confused. It was the edgy times on YouTube. I was just fucking about, having a laugh. Like, I didn't give a shit about anything. And it's difficult to give examples because I just... It's embarrassing, to be honest. Not a fan of who I was, but provocative is the word I would probably use. I was provocative, yeah. I just liked winding people up. I liked pissing people off, and yeah, I don't know. That's just what I did. That's just what I did. But people around that time made their judgment on me, and they keep that judgment to this day. They don't reevaluate. They don't look at, who are you now, right? And to an extent, I have a lot of similar characteristics because I'm the same person. I'm not a different person, but I have similar characteristics. Like, I'm very opinionated. If I have an opinion, I will argue that opinion. I'm not one to get swayed necessarily. Like, if I have an opinion, I will argue that opinion if I feel passionate about it. Like, look at Odyssey Broke Me. That whole video is 40 minutes, 47 minutes, however long it is, of me arguing my opinion with fucking conviction. And that's just what I do. And a lot of people don't like that. But I think people get the wrong idea that I'm antagonistic, or I'm aggressive, or I don't know. Because I'm not really that at all. I don't think I am anyway. Like, I don't know. But the point is, I think a lot of people just judged, I guess, in those days, this is what sort of person you are, and I'm not budging on that. I think you're a cunt. And there's a lot of reasons why people would think that at the time. Like, don't get me wrong. If you weren't into that sort of humor and you weren't into being edgy, whatever, like, I get it. But that's translated to now, and it's partly my fault, obviously, but I think at the same time it would be nice for people to reevaluate me and maybe not see me tweet something and immediately be like, he's a cunt. Like, I don't think I've done anything today that's bad. I don't think I've said anything today that's bad, but I don't know, man. I do not know, man. It's weird. Just seeing that criticism and just, I don't know. And that's the thing, look, I've always been one to, because back when I was in that edgy phase as well, like, I probably should change the name of the stream to Let's Talk About Myself, but we'll get back onto the topic in a minute. This is just sort of relevant, I guess, to what's been going on today. But I guess even when I was in that edgy phase, I always cared about what people were saying about me. Like, it was never, I'll just say this thing and I don't fucking give a shit. Because I obviously did care. It was like I tried to be both things. Like, I tried to be really provocative, but also still tried desperately, like, I wanted people to, like, be like, no, don't hate me because I'm not actually a bad guy. But, like, you can't do both. And so, yeah, it's a weird one, but it's just strange to see that focus from some people. Like, I've just never really understood, or at least I don't understand, the idea of making a judgment on someone that you don't know. But I appreciate you guys for sticking around. I appreciate the support. I do. I try to be as upfront and genuine as I can. I mean, that's what this community is about. It's that we want to be upfront. We want to be genuine. And I think we do a good job of it. And that's why we're just sort of like, if Ubisoft do some bad shit, we're just like, fuck that. Like, there's no compromise, really. Maybe that's what people dislike, is the lack of compromise we have. And I think it's just because we're sick of it. I mean, it's for me anyway, like, It's, I think, yeah. I'm just trying to get my thoughts straight. With Ubisoft, I just don't think we're willing to budge. I think it's just a lot of people get angry about that fact because they would rather we compromise and be like, well, here's the positives, here's the negatives, but no, fuck that company. That's just where I'm at with it, because if you can't give them the room to, you just can't. You're never going to see change unless you give them no space. And even then you might not see change. But I don't think you can be like, well, here's the good people, you know, here's the bad. It's like, it's the same concept with the whole fucking debate, right? That you always see with like the whole like not all men thing, right? So like when it comes to sexual assault, sexual harassment, women will be like, oh, fuck men, right? And a lot of people's response will be, well, not all men, I'm fine. It's like, that is not relevant, because we know that, like, we do know that, but in that instance, like, women have to be wary of all men because you can't tell which one's good, which one's bad. With Ubisoft, again, we can't tell which people within Ubisoft are good and which people within Ubisoft are bad. There's no way of being able to tell that. But also on top of that, if you start dividing them up and you start pointing out the positive and you start saying, yeah, you know, the company did put in that tattoo, so, you know, that's a good thing. It's like, what? There's no relevance to that. Like, I don't feel there's relevance to that in the grand scheme of things. Like, yeah, maybe the dev team that decided to put in the sisterhood tattoo into Valhalla were a bunch of good guys, and maybe what they tried to do was good. Maybe they were trying to do a good thing. But I don't care, because that hasn't changed anything. It doesn't matter, so it's not worth my time to praise, right? Is it worth your time to criticize? I would maybe argue also no. Which is maybe, you know, maybe something I shouldn't have done back when that happened, but I was just angry. I was just angry at Ubisoft in general, and it was that coming to the forefront. But I think that it's not... There's some things where I'm like, is it praiseworthy? Yes. But is it worth your time to praise? Not fucking really. It's not... which is just my mindset, I guess. The negatives stand out more for me. It's like, for me, it makes more sense to fight the negatives than to praise the small positives in a situation like this. Because I'm not saying that the tattoo being implemented into the game was a bad thing. I mean, there are ways you can look at it, I guess, but it's more that it's not worth my time to be like, well done. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't matter. So, I guess, yeah, it's just one of those things. Is Gabe the community developer still at the company? He is still... Yeah, I believe so. I'm not sure where he works now, whether it's Assassin's Creed or, you know, what he works on, but I know he's still there. We don't get on very well, but I don't give a shit. It's another one of those things where those people want you to act a certain way, behave a certain way, and it's outwardly as well. Like, you know, behind closed doors, I don't think they really give a shit, but in front of their friends, you know, in front of the masses, they want you to act a certain way so that they can be like, oh, thank God, they're a good person, and I'm a good person. Oh, it's so fake. This industry is so fake, man. It's so fucking fake. It's insane. I just can't stand it. I'm never going to act a particular way to please fucking nobodies that I don't know. Like, oh man, it's mad. But that's irrelevant. This is not part of the topic. It's just, you know, something else. And we talked about this with Mr. Matty Plays on the newest episode of As Always podcast, which, by the way, went out yesterday. So if you haven't already listened to that podcast, go and give it a listen, because it's yeah, it's a good one. We had a little chat about some of this stuff. Feeling a bit health-wise, day to day a bit, but overall no. Like, I'm still not great, but day to day, I think, well, the past couple of days, like, I've been okay. I'm getting some stuff sorted though soon in terms of like medication, and also I'm gonna get an MRI scan as well on my fucking head to see what's going on up there, just to, you know, rule out that there's nothing really bad. But yeah, it's just kind of fucking just a long drawn out process. So yeah, but I'm, you know, I guess I'm sort of doing alright now. Just depends on the day, I suppose. Yeah, just if you don't know about what's going on with me, it's not really important. There's probably a tweet somewhere on my Twitter if you scroll back far enough, but I tweet like 1,000,000 times a day. It's not. I don't think it's anything major anyway, but it's just stopping me from doing stuff. Thanks, Amir. I really appreciate that. You've really lifted my spirits there. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, that's made me feel tons better, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you. But no, I'm just, you know. I hope you can't get secured, you know. That's a classic. It's like if they thought getting rid of only Ashraf was going to make us go quiet, there are plenty of other issues regarding misconduct and employees. Well, yeah, like they got rid of a few people, and I think like the major ones. That's the thing, right? The ones that were in the public eye were stepped down. They were they were removed from the company. So because that saves face, right? Then you got people that aren't in the public eye that now they're still there. They still work there. Or they're in other positions, right? You can see it in this article. If you do !Ubisoft in chat, Nightbot will throw an article there in chat for you to go read if you want to see what's going on. But yeah, that's it. I won't even joke about being cancer. Last time I did, my mum got cancer. Fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank God she's doing alright. But yeah, you never know. I mean, they don't seem to think it's anything bad, though. So, fingers crossed I'm not going to die. Or fingers crossed I do die. Knowing me, it won't be anything life-threatening because I want to die on a daily basis. I did create another YouTube. Yeah, I've got a few things going on. If you haven't already seen my new video, it's on It's Lazboy. You can find it somewhere on my Twitch. There should be a link. It's yeah, I talked about all that stuff. Mario, I just said I am doing that. I've got to wait, but I've already. I spoke to a neurologist about it, and I've got other stuff happening. So I am doing it. That's really edgy, James. Oh, it's not edgy compared to the back in the day. Not even edgy, to be honest. Just bad. Thanks, Amir. When I talk about wanting to kill myself, trust me, I'm joking. Just to clarify, I am joking. I don't actually want to kill myself. Not every day, anyway. But yeah, I mean, I'm just perpetually stressed, sort of, with everything. I was literally in the middle of writing this stuff. I mean, this morning the Ubisoft stuff happened, but I realised that the Twitter sort of went to meltdown a bit in the last like couple hours. So I just decided, fuck, I can't keep writing anymore. Like I wanted to keep writing this Blood and Wine video, which is coming along. It's coming along, but then all this shit kicked off, and I was like, I just want to sit down and talk because I'm fucking stressed, man. Fucking stressed. Are you fit enough to stream like Horsey and Fox? Shouldn't they go to 8 hours? I don't think so. We'll see. We'll have to see. I'm gonna get some medication that the neurologist prescribes, so we'll see if it helps me out on a day-to-day basis, but we'll see. But yeah, like I'm taking things easier. Like with the Blood and Wine video, I'm trying to just take it easy and just, you know, it'll be out when it's out now, not May 31st necessarily. I mean, you never know. I might still have it done in time, but if it's not, then it's not. I just don't care anymore. I need to stop caring about these deadlines and shit and just focus on myself, because otherwise I'm just going to be fucked, and that's just not what we want. So, yeah, it's, it's wild. It is wild. But thankfully, like with, you know, all the channels that I've got going, with As Always, with, you know, whatever else, I don't need to worry too much about forcing videos out anymore, which, you know, I appreciate the shit out of everybody for allowing me to have that freedom, and create, you know, better stuff, I guess. But yeah, it's wild, and I do have a video coming out soon about Ubisoft. I was worried that it'd feel outdated now because of all this new stuff. But we'll see. I think it's fine. I gave it a listen back to the audio because I've had I handed it off to Josh to edit because I was like, well, I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm not feeling great. I want to work on Blood and Wine. So I handed it off to Josh to edit, and he's been working away on that. And I've just been working on other stuff. But I gave it a listen, and I think it's fine. I don't think I necessarily need to change anything. When I was listening, I was like, this all still applies. This all feels right. But it could be worth adding a new segment. We'll see. I feel like the video flows quite well as it is. But it might be worth just thinking about. I don't know. If I were to add a new section, what would it be about? Maybe it'd be about the fact... I think the only section that would be worth adding is like a call to action of like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm not buying these games anymore, and I'd advise you do the same. That's probably the only thing I would add. And I don't know whether it's worth doing, just because it might ruin the flow of the video. I'll think about it. It depends, yeah. It depends how long it would take Josh to incorporate that and edit it together, because I'd like it out relatively soon. But, yeah, it's a good one, though. It is a good one. I'm very happy with it. I think it's turned out very well, and I think I've got the point across for all three segments of it, so, yeah. But, yeah, and yeah, it's obviously, it's taking a break is a bit tough when I do have bills to pay, but I think I have the freedom to be able to, yeah. Show the Valhalla video. I have not, and I don't know what I'm doing with that. That's another, like, issue where I'm at now. Like, I don't even want to talk about this company anymore. Like, I'm doing the stream to, like, get it out of my system, but, like, I just don't. I just don't know what to do. Like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't even necessarily want to talk about Revelations. Like, I don't even necessarily want to do my Revelations retrospective, because I'm like, ugh. The thought of just praising this company at all is just, ugh. And I know it's, like, such a weird thing, because, like, Revelations came out 10 years ago, and, like, I'm not praising the company's actions now, but I don't want to take the spotlight off of putting pressure on them. You know what I mean? It almost feels like if I stop for a minute to go, oh, remember how good Revelations was? It gives them a moment to breathe. And I just don't think they deserve it. And so, you know. It's just, yeah, it's just weird. I don't know, and I don't know if I'm going to play the Paris DLC. I might not. I might just fuck it off, to be honest. Because, look, let's be real, that fucking Wrath of the Druids was so bad, so boring. I don't want to play that again. Like, I don't want to play any more of that. So badly that I'm willing to just fuck it off completely. I don't think I even want to play Siege of Paris. For the reason that the game, like, it will be shit, but also for the reason that I just cannot stand this fucking company. Like, it makes me angry, and I'm mad that I even played Valhalla in the first place. Obviously, in hindsight, I couldn't have known how they would handle it. I couldn't have... It was from the perspective of, like wanting to make content that I didn't really think, but then, like... Is it better for me to buy it and criticize it and give them shit for it? Or is it better for me to completely just not buy it? I don't know. I don't know. I will wait to see how I feel in like October time when I come to do the retrospective, because you never know, things might have changed. I might have a different outlook. Obviously, my outlook of not buying the games remains. I'm saying that now so that I have to stay true to it. Because if I go and buy the next AC game now, if I go buy Far Cry 6, I'm gonna look like a right fuckhead. So now I can't. Now I can't do it. So I have to. That's how it has to be. But pirate the games and shit on them in reviews. I mean, there's always that possibility. I could just pirate the games and then shit on them, but you gotta realize people won't realize that I pirated it unless I say it up front, in which case then more people will get mad, and I also don't want to play them. Like, I also just don't want to play them. Like, they're actually just that bad. Like, I just don't want to play them. And I think I'm still going to talk shit about Ubisoft. Like, I'm still going to put pressure on them and criticize Ubisoft because I want to. And because I would do it in, you know, podcasts, on streams, maybe in a video here and there. But I don't ever want to talk about the games as games anymore, I guess, until they change what they're doing. Because I don't enjoy the games, and my criticisms of the games as games will all be the same. Yeah, and I'm not missing out on their games. Like, they're not for me. They're not my sort of games. I just play them because I like writing about them. And I think after this Valhalla one, there's nothing I'm gonna write that's gonna be different. Like, I don't know. Whereas a small disclaimer at the beginning of Revelations retrospective, maybe, but I don't want to like dampen the mood of it as well. Like, if I make a Revelations retrospective, I don't want the whole thing to be dampened by Ubisoft's sexual misconduct. So yeah, it'll be weird. I just don't really know what to do. Like, I'm just not really sure what my next move is. I could just completely ignore them and criticize them, which is really the plan. It's just these big videos that I've been working on. What do I want to do with them? Don't know. I do not know. Maybe I'll figure something out, but you know. I'm going to have a video, Ender, coming out about Ubisoft as a company. So that'll be happening. But I guess it's just, you know, working on this big Valhalla video, you know, replaying it through and playing the DLCs and, like, the Revelations retrospective. Like, what am I even doing? I guess just fucking it all off. Like, criticize the company, ignore the products is a fair stance, and yeah, that's what I want to do. So I guess it's a matter of just deciding: do I want to make this Valhalla critique or not? Do I want my final stance on this to be my final stance on the games to be Odyssey broke me, and then my final stance on the company to be this Ubisoft video that's coming out, or like what do I want to do? I don't really know. Well, like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I've seen people say, and like I've taken it on board because I'm like, man, maybe it's a fair point, but is me streaming, like, say, Brotherhood bad now? If I talk about not supporting Ubisoft, is me then streaming Brotherhood wrong? Is that wrong of me to do now? For me to say on Twitter, don't support this company, don't buy their shit, and then just to stream one of their games, is that wrong of me? See, I don't think it does anything because it's an old game, and I'm not giving them money. I'm literally just playing an old game that I like. But at the same time, it's like maybe it does, because my whole perspective has been to keep the pressure up. You know, keep your foot down. Don't let up. But by then streaming like fucking Brotherhood, I would be letting up. I forget something on the ground. So it's just like a fuck me. Like, what do I do? I guess the only thing I can do is completely ignore. Just affect your pride in being the world record holder for 81 speedrunning. I guess it kind of does. Oh, it's so annoying. Is Valhalla bad or not? Because in the middle it seems fine. I mean, if you're in the middle and you think it seems fine, then you'll probably come out of it thinking it was fine. I can't really say, because we probably have different opinions. I don't think it's wrong. I think playing a game you've had for ages and love doesn't have to take away from pressure of Ubisoft for their shit. I guess so. Could you make the two make it like using Valhalla as an example of how Ubisoft never listens to their fans, like instead of I guess, but I feel like that's so trivial. Like I don't know, like it's a current event thing that's just so trivial compared to sexual misconduct. Like that's so much more important to me. It's so much more important than Ubisoft's handling of Assassin's Creed. Like I could not care less about Viking the game, like the Epic Vikings game. Like I just don't care about that anymore. Like that, I could not care less about it right now. And despite continuing to keep pressure on them, which is what I've been doing, I have lost sight at times about what actually matters and the fact that they haven't done anything about sexual misconduct, and instead have taken again to talking about their games. But, like, I guess you can criticize both, like, at the same time, right? But I guess then does one take the spotlight off the other? Like, if I start criticizing their bad games, Ubisoft, you know, able to breathe because they're like, oh, thank God, they're only talking about how our microtransactions are bad. They're not talking about how we fucking raped people. You know what I mean? So is Zelda's playthrough of AC done now? I don't know, that's up to her. Yeah, it's more what Ubisoft hasn't done, to be honest. It's that it's come out in an article that they just haven't tried. They don't want to try. They've got rid of people for PR, like getting rid of Ashraf and Alex Amancio. Well, Alex Amancio was already gone, but you know what I mean? Like, those big names that everyone knew. Sergei Haskell, like, getting rid of them because everyone knew them. There's other people, they're still there, because they don't care about change within their actual fucking company. They don't care about that part of it. They care about saving face. And that's why they've done what they've done. Escablades is gone, yeah. Yeah, it's a good point, Alex. I could just scrap it. I think I'm just going to have to sit on it and think. You know what I mean? I'm just going to have to think about it, decide what I want to do, and then, you know, I guess figure it out. See, Avatar, I get what you're saying, and I do agree to an extent, but I feel like it's almost different because of the amount of people involved, right? So, like, yeah, I guess Ubisoft at the time, yeah, actually, I don't know. I agree and disagree with what you said. I do get what you're saying, though. I think part of what Mr. Matty said on As Always yesterday about how videos about news don't have much of a legacy as the news carries weight, whereas game reviews, I feel, can have a much longer life cycle. Maybe fitting the news in is important. Maybe it's not. You mean in terms of, like, what's happened? Or, I don't know, I'm confused. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know what you meant. I don't know what the context of what you said was. I don't know what we were talking about before. I think I just, my brain has moved on and I just, like, didn't realize. I don't know. That was probably referencing something I said before. Watching other Assassin's Creeds, you can't put a caption saying that it's better to buy it second hand. Check your texts. I don't have any texts. Oh, it's because I don't have my SIM card in yet. Do you want me to come downstairs? Well, I don't know. I need to put my SIM card in, and you have it. So, are you having some issues? What's? Do you get any phone? No, I just got my one repaired, so it's good now. I've got Elva stream up. So yeah, my phone's all good now, all fixed, but it's still the iPhone 10. I haven't got a new phone. So I can actually use it now. How long is stream going for? I don't know, just until I feel like grabbing things up. It's poor comparison, but it's like how J.K. Rowling is transphobic. Can we still enjoy the stuff she put out before? It's very difficult. It's very different than what's going on at Ubisoft, but you get me. It is different, yeah, it is different because J.K. Rowling, she says some mad shit, but she's just saying mad shit. So it's like, you know, it's also just one person as well. So it's like I feel like I can pretty conscience free buy the new Harry Potter game, because I don't give a shit about J.K. Rowling and what bullshit she spews. She can fuck off. I just don't care. She's an idiot. And I can still play the game. It's made by a company like... You know what I mean? Whereas with, like, Ubisoft, they've actually hurt people. They've got a culture that harms people. And so that is like, we need action because we need people to stop being hurt. We need women to stop being looked down on. And to an extent, what J.K. Rowling's done does harm people. It sort of trickles down, right? It's weird, isn't it? I mean, there's definitely, with, like, you know, does it harm the devs more than it harms the higher ups? At this point, I hate to say it, but I just don't care. Like, I'm sorry, look, I just don't care. This matters more than it, to me anyway. It matters more to get to the top. And if we have to go through people at the bottom to get there, we have to, because this has to be sorted out. It has to be fixed. They have to take accountability for this. So we might have to, you know, hurt devs in the process. Fucking just go work somewhere else, man. Just get out. Get out of the company. Go work somewhere else. And that's obviously, you know, it's not as cut and dry as that, but I don't know. No, yeah, like I said, like, her comments obviously are hurtful, and they do damage, and they do like perpetuate a perspective that's backwards. But it's different because it's not directly like... J.K. Rowling isn't a company that perpetuates a culture of violence and abuse towards women. It's one woman. Like, it's different. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that she's not a cunt and what she's doing is not bad, because she is, and it's in a multitude of ways. It's not just transphobia, like, it's plenty of other things. Like, she's just a hypocritical fucking idiot. So it's... Yeah, work can be found elsewhere. You can't... Yeah, but I think that's the... It's like, which one are you... Like, are we willing to help the devs in order to allow the workplace misconduct to continue? Or are we going to have to... Maybe some devs are maybe going to have to, you know... Maybe they make less money. Maybe they do. But they can't lower their salaries. Like, can they? Surely Ubisoft won't lower the salary of the people working at the company because they're making less money. It's the higher-ups that'll have to take the hit. They'll have to take the money out of their big pool of Ubisoft money in order to pay the people at the bottom. Or maybe they will just lay people off, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's complicated, isn't it? It's very complicated. And I wish there was an easy answer. But I guess there's not. I mean, Eve has to go. Like, Eve has to go. Definitely has to go. He won't, but he has to. Yeah, they definitely will cut people's pay. That was, yeah, silly of me to think that they would be decent. Man, it's just wild. It's just really fucking wild that this has happened and that we're in this position where just don't have a clue how to fucking deal with it. Is ELVA not in chat anymore? She literally told me to check my texts and then just left. Hang on, has she messaged me on Discord or something? She's not messaged me anywhere else. I'm just gonna have to go down and talk to her, aren't I? I'm gonna have to go fucking talk to her. Because she's not... I can't respond to her because I don't have my SIM card in. I'll go to her stream. Oh yeah, go over to her stream. And let her know. Just tell her that I can't respond. I think it's me. It's much higher than the police. Eva's playing Mass Effect right now? She is. We'll raid her after. So you can go enjoy something. And I will... I don't even know what I'm going to do after the stream. Just fucking kill myself. What? I don't know why I said that. I need to eat something. I'm fucking hungry. I'll probably do that. And then maybe try and write some more of this video. I don't know, man. Oh, I just fucking need to chill out and relax. I think I'm gonna not work the rest of the night. I think I want to fucking, I think I'll just fucking chill out or something. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I think I'm just at this point where I've spent a lot of time dwelling on what I could have done differently, and I think what matters more is what I fucking do next, right? Like, moving forward, it's really just that I don't want to play any more of these games. I don't want to buy any more of these games. I just need this to fucking end, man. I just want to see change, and I don't know if by all of us not buying these games, or whoever joins me in this, I don't know if that'll do anything, but I've got to hope that it will, right? And whether it does, like... Whether it does or doesn't, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. At least I tried, I guess. Right? James, I can come over with some bears if you're up for that. We'll chill out. Some fucking bears, mate. What are you doing? You come over with some bears. Well, we'll sit with the bears. Sourcing Fox this week? Probably not. Depends how I feel. I think I'm getting some medication on Friday, so we'll find out. But fuck me, I'm just fucked. Like, my head fucking hurts now. Bears, yeah, and some honey. Some nice honey. Some honey and some bears. Can you order me pizza, please? Why can't you do it? What do you mean? You do it. You're an idiot. Fucking get your phone out and do it. I can't hear the stream, so I don't know what you're sponsored with. Just do it. I'm not gonna do it. Everyone chat, fucking just tell it. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not ordering you pizza. You have a fucking phone. Do it yourself. I don't think your contribution with not buying these games is gonna do anything, to be honest. Games hit the mainstream, and the mainstream doesn't care what's happening. I know, but I can't not do anything. You never know, right? Like, I might make this video, it might get a lot of views, people might be like, you know what, he's right, and do the same thing. You never know. But there's no point in me going, oh, I probably won't do anything, so I'll just buy the sexual abuse company's game anyway. Like, regardless of whether it works or not, I don't want to. It's just that simple, I guess. We should organise something with the community and the 4 pillars. Make some video streams. It's really loud. Not that it'll help. It'll encourage other people to follow in the footsteps. Maybe. I don't know. But it's just a rough one. I want to help. I do want to help, but who knows? I guess I'll wrap things up. I'm going for about an hour. Just wanted to chat for a little while. Sort of clear my head a little bit. Ironically, my head doesn't feel great after this, but that's not related to the thing. So that's alright. I just want to I'm just going to have to go chill out. I might start Mass Effect, to be honest. Just fucking chill out and play some Mass Effect and just stop worrying about working. Like, I feel like I spent all of my time worrying about what's my next project. I need to make sure this is out by a certain date. When am I going to stream next? I feel like I just need to chill out and enjoy video games. Just have a good time. Like, I don't know. I'm too caught up in this. So maybe I'll do that. grab something to eat, just fucking chill out, and then, yeah. I guess I'm still in the mindset that I need to have this Witcher video out by the 31st of May, and I guess I do have to have it out somewhat after the date, because otherwise it'll be like 5 years later, but it's like 5.5 years later. I don't, does it matter? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's crazy to play Mass Effect 1. Oh, man. Yeah, it's good. If anyone has played Mass Effect, you're missing out. I'll bring the bears, James. Don't worry, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Currently at the tank station. Fuck's sake. And yeah, even if it doesn't do anything, yeah, at least we tried. I feel like it's our responsibility to do our best. So yeah. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. You have Mr. Lot Aussie. You have. Oh, Ethan's big video. I need to watch that at some point. Maybe one day. But yeah, this will be up on my VODs channel, which is it's Lasboy VODs, by the way. I've changed all of that stuff. So tell you what, I'll link it in chat now for anybody that hasn't checked out my new video explaining sort of the situation of what I'm doing with my channels. I've put it up on It's Lasboy, which, by the way, we've nearly hit 10,000 subscribers on, which is insane. I'm so happy about that. But there's my video explaining everything, and that has like my new VOD channel linked and everything, so I'm changing some stuff up, changing some stuff around, but yeah, there you go. Give that one a watch, and we'll have some more stuff going on, and I'll get this VOD out. It'll have to be 24 hours because they don't let you put it up until 24 hours like Twitch. Once you become an affiliate, Twitch has 24-hour exclusivity to VODs. So you can obviously watch the VOD here, but then I will it'll be up on It's Lasboy VODs in 24 hours, so tomorrow evening. So yeah, good shit. Thank you all very much. And I will see you all sometime soon for another video. I did say I was going to do Nier today. I'm not anymore. I just decided I'm too stressed to focus on a game, and I'm too stressed to fucking work on a video. I need to just fucking relax, man. I really do. Your background looks cozy. Does it really? Thank you. It's really nice in the winter when I throw up the fire on the TV behind me. Like I go on Netflix and get a little fireplace thing. It's really nice. I did that for my some of my streams back in the day. But yeah, alright, well, raid ELVA, she's playing some Mass Effect. Go and check her out. She's doing some really good bits, and she's very, very dedicated to the old streams. So go and give her some support. She really does deserve it. She really works very hard with everything she's doing. She's only just started recently, but like she's really working hard on everything she wants to do. All of her YouTube channels as well, with her different clips and everything, and she gets very stressed out about it, trying to do the best that she can. So go and give her some support. Go and drop her a follow. Go and watch her stuff. Let's be a fucking great gaming community of gamers, and yeah, show you support. Show her some love. She'll really, really, really appreciate it. And go over and have a good time. It's fucking chill over there. They're playing some fucking Mass Effect. It's a good time. Everyone in chat is chill. Just take what we're doing here. Not talking about Ubisoft sexual misconduct, but just, you know what I mean. Take our chat, move over there, and let's just have a bloody good time and chill out and play some video games. So yeah, good shit. All right, I'll start the raid. Everyone join in the raid, and we'll head over there and have a nice time. A little bit better than wallowing in this shit. But there you go. Oh, could someone... I don't know whether Abbas guided the raid. Oh, he didn't do it by mistake. Someone refunded it. All right, sweet. Thank you. I was just going to say that. Anyway, yes, everyone head over to ELVA's stream now. If you join the raid, you get some channel points. So there you go. And yeah, good shit. Obviously, you can use the lasers raid emote if you're a sub on this channel. There it is in chat for you now. Good emote. Anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.